What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the DriveMatch Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Ravi Wadan. I'm joined by Ali Busnaina. What's up, Ali? How are you doing today?
Hey, Ravi. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just have a lot of things going on in the automotive market. It's constantly changing. So I think the people who kind of follow us on social media, I think will get a lot of value from this podcast going forward. And if you're not following this podcast, you should follow it going forward. We're going to be posting every single week and talk about what's happening in the automotive industry, talk about what we're seeing from a sales perspective, maybe talk about recalls, kind of all that good stuff, and talk about, obviously, where the good deals are. So I think the first thing, Ali, I want to bring up today is the $7,500 EV tax credit.
Yeah.
It looks like it's officially going away. What are we, about 10 more days officially? And what are you seeing? Are you seeing, everything that I'm reading seems like there's like a mad dash and consumers are trying to get, or trying to take advantage of this rebate before it ends. But what are you seeing on the ground?
Yeah, it is a mad dash. We're seeing it from all manufacturers too. So we saw Porsche really push some cars on these Macan EVs, Taycan EVs. We actually have some more being listed on DriveMatch.com as we speak. But people are finally realizing that, yes, this credit is going away. Then it's, money from the government that's being subsidized on these leases. So, whatever your opinion is on it, the credit is available today. And if you're open to an electric vehicle, now is literally the time to get it.
Yeah, and I think you said it best. I think a lot of people have opinions about electric vehicles. Some people don't like them because they don't make a noise. Some people don't like them because they don't have a transmission. But I think we've talked about this in the past as two people that have owned electric vehicles, just strictly from a financial perspective, like a personal finance perspective. There is no cheaper way to drive vehicle in this country right now, especially if you have like level 2 charging at home, right? We've done the numbers. Yeah. If you can get like an effective zero down monthly payment of $300 or $400, I think most American families will save roughly $200 a month on gas, give or take, right? Might be slightly under.
And that's really the true advantage, I think, of the electric vehicles is using it in your, call it 100-mile, 150-mile radius of home and charging at home. So recently I took advantage of the $7,500 credit and got a Hummer EV. Amazing car. I absolutely love it. I'm 6'8", so it's huge. It fits me. It's great.
It's awesome.
Excellent air conditioning. But I took it on a road trip to California, as you probably saw on social media. Yeah. And the charging situation is not cheap. And it's not
like the public charging.
The public charging, yes.
Public fast charging, yeah.
Yes. So the Hummer EV does not come with any like free Electrify America, like a lot of EVs do today, like BMW, Mercedes, etc. Yeah. Even Porsche actually includes Electrify America. However, GMC does not. And I think to charge the Hummer EV, if you didn't have charging at home, every time I went to Electrify America, I was in it for $60 to $70. So it was pretty much the same, or more than gas.
This is also a 200 kilowatt hour battery pack.
Yeah, it's a huge battery. But in my 90% of ownership, I'm not taking it on road trips. I'm charging at home. Yes, and you're right. It's a much bigger savings compared to a gas. If it was a gas Hummer, I'd be hundreds of dollars a week.
And we had a Tesla Model S for 2 or 3 years. Right, charging at home maybe costs us $50 a month. No oil changes. Really no maintenance besides from like some cabin filters, things like
exactly.
That. That's really it.
That's actually a great point, because the Hummer EV is, as you know, one of the heaviest cars on the road. But I'd say most of my driving, I rarely touch the brake pedal. So I'm using
That's true.
I'm using the regen, the one pedal driving, and then there's an additional paddle on the steering wheel where you can do like max regen, so you can kind of use that as almost your brake pedal. Yes. It's a great vehicle. It was very well engineered. I'm very happy with it.
Nice.
the the Electrify America charging system needs some work.
It needs some work. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I think it's someone. So my wife and I, we have a Cadillac Lyric, and I think when I'm on road trip. So ours actually came with 2 years of EV Go.
oh, okay, they did EV Go, got
which
it.
is nice because GM and EV Go had that partnership.
Yeah,
I think they still have it, but
yeah,
yeah, I think you just really have to plan out your road trips. I've found that Tesla is like really consistent, even in terms of like the charging curve. I mean, we're getting kind of
yes,
geeky here, but the Tesla
yeah,
charging curve I've found is there's no like drop offs or anything. So like even when we
yeah.
charge, I'll go
I
up to like
agree.
150 kilowatt hours, of speed, and then the Tesla one kind of maintains it. I feel like just
It,
better throughout.
it does. I actually, before the trip I did to California, I bought the Tesla.
Well,
What
the
is it?
adapter.
Yeah,
Then
to work with the CCS on the car.
yes,
And I had some trouble with it at first, but I was in Quartzsite, Arizona, and there was a one supercharger right here, and then another one literally across the street. That I went to that one, and it would not work, and I was like, I think of myself as a techie guy. I couldn't
yeah,
figure it out, and then I realized those were the older superchargers that don't work with the GMC. It was just the one across the street. So I went
I
over
see.
there, plugged it in. It initiated instantly with the Tesla app, and I was charging. And like you said, it immediately went up to 150 kilowatts and just kind of sat there.
It's pretty seamless. They've really done
Yeah,
a good job of building it
they
out.
did. I mean, kudos to Tesla for that. And that particular charger had 84 stalls. Like
Dang.
it's hard to beat that. And there was probably like I was probably like one of five cars, and a lot of people were shocked to see the Hummer plugged into it. But
Yep.
um, I have some videos of it that I took. But yeah, it was great. It worked really well. We're in contrast to Electrify America, which was on the other side of the freeway. It had four stalls, and only two of them were working. So that's kind of
Yeah, I've
the
found
state
that.
of.
Electrify America, EV Go. Some of the EV Go stations are really nice. Like there's one in Ellensburg, about 100 miles east of here. It's so
Okay,
nice.
yeah,
There's seven of them. They're all like the 350 kilowatt, like
yep,
beautiful, brand new, like plug and play. But last week I was in Portland for a conference, and I was like, oh, let me go to the EV Go and top up before I head home because it's for free charge. And that was a bit of a finagle. So that they had they had the 350 kilowatt side was open, but they were occupied, so I had to use the 100 kilowatt. And that was only
ah,
charging at like 30 kilowatts, and I was like, this isn't going to work. And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
play. I was having to go into the app and do stuff. And then one of the cars left on the 350 watt. It's 350 watts, 350 kilowatts, but it's split between the two chargers.
oh
And
yeah, so it's balanced, yeah,
those opened up, and then I was able to just plug it in. And that one seemed like it was newer, had newer software because I just plugged in, and it just automatically started charging. And I got a great charge on the way home, so that was good. That was
yeah.
good.
Actually, the Electrify America that I went to, it was empty. One of the other ones I went to were pretty empty, and when I plugged in, the Hummer instantly got up to like 320, 330,
Oh,
and it was,
that's good to hear. So
yeah,
I
it
guess
was it was it was great. I mean,
watching.
it was charging real
The
fast.
Hummer is able to take a 350 kilowatt hour
Yes,
charge,
yeah, yeah,
which
it needs
is
it. So
but yeah, which is fantastic. And the Teslas typically, I think the Gen 3, I think some more of the Gen 4s are rolling out with up to 300 kilowatt hours now, but
mhm.
the Teslas typically top out at 250 kilowatts an hour. So even if you have a Hummer like Ali does, the max you'll get is 250 on a Tesla charger, but it'll be a pretty steady 250, but or close to 250, but you're not going to get that max peak. Like if you showed up with an empty battery pack, you might get close to that 350, right? As you were saying.
Yes, and that's a great point you just made, Ravi, is that like the charging speeds are much higher when you arrive with a more drained pack,
Yes.
So I forgot who made the analogy, but it's almost like going into a mall parking lot that's completely empty and you can just pull into any parking spot.
Yes.
Whereas as the battery fills up, like comparing it to a parking lot, as a parking lot fills up, you have to kind of drive around and search for spots more. So the speed of filling the battery drops. Like I forgot who did that analogy, but it was like it's
That is a
so
good
visually
analogy.
like perfect.
Was it that what's his name, the engineering guy on YouTube, because he always has good, I forget, he has,
I think you might be right. Yeah.
it might have Engineering Explained or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, I guess we can move on to the second kind of topic of today, which was the EV deals that we have on DriveMatch. So we recently had some of the Macan electric lease deals, which were a big hit. We dropped those like 3 nights ago. I think we sold out within 24 hours, right? They were kind of all spoken for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Porsches are probably one of my favorite driving, one of my favorite driving vehicles, period. But the Porsche electric cars are just incredible. Just the way they drive and feel is just unmatched, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, those deals were unbelievable with the discounts stacked with the rebates. And again, on DriveMatch, everything's pre-negotiated. So the payment you see on there is what you're going to pay on approved credit, of course. So it makes it super simple.
Yeah, and some of the deals like on DriveMatch are posted by independent, like by dealerships, and some are kind of posted by you personally. And then what do you see the customer experience? Like, what do customers say when like they get like the Macan deals? Like, what do customers say? Are they impressed with the DriveMatch as a platform? Are they like, this is like pretty seamless? Like, what's the feedback that you're getting?
Yeah, I mean, just the experience of being able to, um, you know, pick exactly the payment you want, and
Yeah.
not or knowing that what you're seeing is what the deal is you're going to get is
Yeah.
it
It's different
customers.
for people.
Yeah, it's
They're not
like
used to it.
it's like a breath of fresh air for customers.
Yeah.
So to be able to do that and not have to negotiate back and forth and hope you did the right thing.
Yes.
You have the expertise of us at DriveMatch to help you through the deal and navigate that, and you can really pick from any car you want, and know that you're getting
A
exactly
fantastic.
what you're seeing on the site. So
Yeah.
um,
So yeah, we don't really have any. There's no like upsells. It's fully transparent. Anytime you have a duet signing amount, whereas when you read like a typical dealer ad, that duet signing amount doesn't include like dealer fees, state registration. It doesn't include taxes on rebates. But the DriveMatch
yep.
duet signing, it includes everything, right? It's like that's
Yeah.
a true like out of pocket cost, and that
Yes.
duet signing term, it's so kind of open for interpretation, like in the industry, right?
Yes.
It can mean
Yep.
so many things. Like sometimes people, dealers will they'll advertise $0 duet signing, and then when customers go, they're surprised, like, oh, I still had to pay like $2,000 or $3,000
Yeah. Or,
because
oh, I still have to pay first month and my fees or something like that. Yeah. Yep.
exactly right. Whereas if we say $500 duet signing, it's just $500 duet signing, and
Yes.
that's going to be your
Yes.
monthly payment. So.
Yeah.
I think that's what the customers like, and that's what we like to provide is an honest, good service.
Yep. Yeah. And there's many different terms, like you mentioned, there's, people say down, people say drive off, people say out of pocket, do it signing. So I get why consumers are confused, and it is confusing, but when we say do it signing, it's exactly like you mentioned. It includes your first month, your document fees, your any dealer fees, your plates and registration. Like you mentioned, rebates get by some states they get taxed. You have to pay taxes on the money you get
Yep.
from the leasing company. So all of that is lumped into your do it signing. So like
Yes.
Ravi mentioned, it's your complete out of pocket cost. It's not like plus first month or plus this. That's the power of DriveMatch, really.
Yeah, and we also have some Speaking of the $7,500 EV tax credit combined with DriveMatch, we have some cool EV deals on DriveMatch right now too. We have the Silverado deals, which are fantastic deals.
Those are really great trucks. It's actually based on the same platform as the Hummer. And GM actually did something a little bit different, or GM Financial did something a little bit different with their 7,500 credit. So you don't actually get a rebate from GM. It doesn't get applied towards the lease. So the beauty of that is what we were just talking about. You don't pay tax on that rebate. So the way GM did it is they actually put the 7,500 back into the residual. So the way most companies do it is you have your residual value, your selling price, and then it comes down from the selling price to adjust your what you're going to actually pay for a lease, and you have to pay tax on that 7,500. So what GM did is instead of bringing you down this way, they actually brought you up this way. So you've raised your residual, the 7,500, and you're only financing this portion, but it saves you the tax. And if you're in a state like California or something, or even Washington with 10% plus sales tax, that's close to $1,000 of savings by doing that.
Yeah, it's true. That's an interesting way of how they structured it. I didn't know they structured it that way.
Yeah. It was a bit confusing at first for dealers and even for us that GM, when they released their programs, they weren't actually including the 7,500 in their percentages that they release for residuals. But so you'd actually have to do the math and calculate it and add the 7,500 to the residual. So it made leasing a bit difficult at first. They fixed all that. But we have some excellent offers on the 2026 Silverados, and even better for Texas residents. Another promotion that they're doing on this is what's called sales tax credits. So in Texas is one of 3 states in the U.S. that you actually, even when you lease a car, you still have to pay the full sales tax on the entire price of the vehicle. Manufacturers and banks in Texas, because it's such a huge market, they have actually subsidized these taxes occasionally. And this month they're doing it on those Silverados. So instead of paying 6.25% on that entire price of the Silverado, you're actually only paying a little over 1% of the price. So they're eating that 5% as well as giving you the 7,500, which is making it just a phenomenal deal for Texas residents.
That's an awesome deal for Texas. Yeah, because Texas is always tricky because in most states you only pay tax on the depreciation and
correct.
And essentially your monthly payment only gets taxed. Whereas Texas is and we always get Texas people either in my comments or in DriveMatch emails like, hey, why is this deal so? I went to check out in Texas and the deal's like it's way more expensive. Well,
right? Yeah.
It's Texas, Maryland, and I always forget
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 states in the union that have tax on the selling price of the vehicle rather than the payment, I guess, is the best way to categorize that. And then another thing I wanted to talk about was kind of electric vehicle, while we're on the electric vehicle, is inventory levels. I mean, I was looking at some data that was published just a couple of days ago, like in terms of market day supply. So at the current rate a particular car is selling, like that car would be sold out in that many days. The Subaru Solterra is actually at 15 days market supply. So
wow,
I mean, that's very low number. So that means
it's super low. Yeah.
The current rate, 15 days, all inventory in this country will be sold out of that particular car. So I think this data was published like 5 days ago. So they're probably on pace to be completely sold out by the end of the month.
To completely drain it. Yeah. I think a lot of manufacturers. Oh, go ahead.
No, I said the Honda Prologue's at 17.
Wow.
Third place, we have the Volkswagen ID4 at 22. Q4 e-tron, Audi Q4 e-tron, 23 days. Q6 e-tron, 35 days. Acura ZDX, 37 days. Equinox EV, 38 days. Mercedes EQB, 40 days. Ioniq 5, 50 days. And Nissan Ariya, 51 days. So those are some pretty low numbers for...
Those are pretty good numbers. Yeah, from the Mercedes perspective, we've seen just wiped out of I just remember vividly, like a year, 2 years ago, we were seeing just floods of EQs, EQEs, EQSs on Mercedes lots. And if you go to a Mercedes-Benz dealer today, you'd be hard pressed to find an EQS
Yeah.
out there. It's kind of sad to see a little bit. I mean, I've had a couple of EQSs. They're good vehicles.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they've just taken the approach of sell down current inventory and really slow down production on
Yeah,
those vehicles.
it's gonna be interesting to see because I guess we'll see the true demand of electric vehicles after September 30th. We'll see if the demand can sustain itself. We'll
Yeah.
see. So it's going to be interesting how companies position this because I mean obviously the 7500 helped tremendously,
Yeah.
but there still is a market for electric vehicles. I still think they're in a phase right now where they're expensive to manufacture, and that results in an expensive MSRP. But I think they're optimizing, right? They're optimizing manufacturing, they're optimizing the battery packs, and they're getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper to manufacture. So I think eventually
Yes.
they're going to come to a point, maybe that's 3 years from now or 2 years from now, where the cost of manufacturing is going to be so low on these cars that I feel like there's going to be a resurgence just because I think they're going to be so cheap. That's kind of like at least the way I foresee this kind of going down. Like if you look at what Tesla's been able to do, like Tesla has like 10-15% margins on their cars right now, and they're some of the cheapest electric vehicles
Yeah.
on.
They've truly done an excellent job. I mean, they're the leaders, at least in the US in this market.
Yeah.
Um, and it's clear why they are, so
And
um,
then we'll see if the U.S. ever lets the Chinese EVs in because
yeah.
that could be trouble.
Yes, that's where with things will get very interesting because in China, I feel like I don't know a ton about the Chinese vehicles, but most of the cars that I'm seeing are they've done a lot of high range plug-in hybrids is what I've seen.
Yes.
So big battery packs, but still maintaining a gasoline engine. And I
Yes.
think that's the direction the market, at least they've probably seen as well as the market is desiring those options
Yep.
to be able to still have a gas backup.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, but last year when we were down in Mexico City, I got a chance to sit in a couple of BYDs,
Mm,
Ubers, and I was like, I mean, they're fantastic. And the drivers that I spoke to loved them, and they seemed like you saw BYD storefronts like all over the
yeah,
place in Mexico
I
City.
recall seeing that in Europe earlier this year, like in
Yeah, it was.
Milan, seeing BYD storefronts.
Yeah, you see the
Yeah,
storefronts, and it's like, wow, this is fantastic. Only storefronts we see in the U.S. are Tesla and a few of what's the Vietnamese auto brand called?
VinFast
The VinFast. Yeah, I saw a couple in California when I was
and
down
the
there,
Lucids too.
and Lucids and
Yeah.
Rivians, I guess, right? Lucids,
Yes.
Rivians.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that's yeah. Let's see how this all plays out. But I think that's the major news for now. The 7500 is going away. So
October 1st is going to be very interesting. Yeah.
if you're in the market, check out DriveMatch.com. You could get a nice pre-negotiated lease deal. But I would say clock's ticking. Ali, what do you think? Clock's ticking, right? Make the move now.
Clock is ticking. Yeah. I mean, if you're at all considering one, especially if you're coming out of a lease or anything like that, the um, the time really is now. And one other thing on these, Porsche just has an insane offer on these um, electric cars. If you're at all close to ending your lease on any brand,
Hmm.
Porsche will actually cover up to a certain amount your last six payments to get you into one of these Porsche EVs. And for Porsche current lessees, it's even better. You can get a pull ahead of up to 12 months if you're a current Porsche lessee. So truly, the time is now. We're seeing inventory drop down. So colors, options, are getting to be slim pickings at this point. So if you're at all considering one, they're excellent cars, especially if you're using it as something you're going to commute with and you can actually utilize home charging. I would highly recommend taking advantage of these deals.
And like you said, they're a driver's car. They're the driver's EV.
They really are. I've driven a Taycan a few times and the Macan EV, and they're just, they're for someone my size at 6'8", they're a bit tight, but the Macan's not bad. But it's just one of the best driving, most fun EVs I've driven. So, yeah.
And so
Porsche
with this
is such a great brand.
With this Conquest, just to make sure I understand it right and make sure the audience understands it right. So let's say, hypothetically, I have like a Tesla lease and I have like 5 months left in it.
Yes.
And I go to DriveMatch.com and I want the Macan EV. So instead of saying, "Oh man, I wish I could get this car, but I have 5 months left on my Tesla lease," you can get that Macan, and Porsche Financial will actually pay the remainder of your they'll just end your Tesla lease essentially for you.
So, so let me go into the details a little bit. So what happens is they need a copy of your original lease contract to see your contracted payment.
Okay.
They also need your vehicle registration to make sure it's valid and you currently have the vehicle. Mm-hmm. And the contract has to be expiring within 180 days. So if you have 7 months left, you are not eligible for the program. If you're under 6 months, you're eligible. And what happens is you will actually get say your payment's $500. They would waive the last 5 payments, and actually those 5 payments will come as a rebate on the new lease. So you still have to turn in your lease. You'll get billed the remaining payments. But your new car will actually be reduced by that same amount.
So if you have like a $500 monthly payment, 5 months left, so it's $2,500 in total. $2,500 to pay off your lease, and they would just subtract $2,500 from the total cost of your next lease, essentially.
Yes. If you have a Porsche, then I believe you just don't worry about the payments, and it just gets waived because it's Porsche Financial to Porsche Financial. So
makes sense.
But for the Conquest brands, that's typically how it works.
Awesome. Well, yeah. I think if you have anything else that you wanted to mention, Ali, if not, I think I think that was one hell of a first podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just end with if you want an EV, now's the time.
Now's the time.
I take advantage. I love the car. But yeah, if you don't see anything you like on DriveMatch.com, be sure to drop us a message, and we'll try and source it. We still have 10 days left in the month, so we're still working hard to get the best options for our customers.
Fantastic. Love to hear it. Well, thanks, Ali. And we'll be in touch. And thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Yes. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe or follow whichever platform you're watching on. Thank you.